interpretation of my psychedelic ascent between 6:07 and 9:02 a.m. on Tuesday, the 21st of April, 2015. An Eckankar believer or member might say that I went to Agamlok, or the unapproachable sphere, and visited with Agnaki, the Mahaya Guru Ekmaster, and guardian of the Shariat Ki Sukhmand, and the Kazi Doubts Temple, are the Temple of Akash, in that place that is considered the eighth heaven in Eckankar cosmology. They would say that the Saska sound was the woodwind sound of the ninth plane. The tree of life and its profound silence would lead to a claim that it was an inner confirmation of what Paul Twitchell would claim in Tiger's Fang, an unmatched spiritual journey to the astral, causal, mental, and soul planes, and into the heart of God itself. The scattering of myself as particles would be called God realization. The yellow path in Eckankar is that of the introvert. The white path is that of the extrovert. The spiritual retreat with contexts, the two paths, the meeting on the summit of Agamlok, and the final part on the physical plane might be seen as the ninth Ek initiation. The blue incarnations are a symbol of becoming a spiritual master, and the nine silent ones would have been thought to be the holders of them. Passing the blue carnations, handing over the rod of Ek power or spiritual authority. The placement above and display was a sign of respect and leadership under Darwin Gross, but of supplanting the former leader in Harold Klemp's interpretation after the court cases that banned the person considered to be the 972nd Eckmaster from Eckankar activities and claims of ties to the group. I guess it is fitting that my English first name means the supplanter. Which of these interpretations are right? Astrologically, we see the Piscean themes of pursuit, duality, mastery, water, ascent, and descent. Fornax are the furnace, can be seen in the sparks, heating of me, rooting of others, and my achievements, the rich smelling bread, and the temporary placement. Horologium are the pendulum clock, can be seen in its representation and how the experience was full of sound and how the boat and flames has cycles. In the tarot, the cards of the realms were seen in the pile of swords. The representations of the realms was as the three of swords, Iranian symbolism of the state of reality. The mercurial nature of the four of swords can be seen as altruism and how the participants of the competitions did not interfere with each other. I mean, real friendly competition rather than the sarcastic phrase. The five of swords can be said to have its Neptunian symbolism in the alternating conditions, both within the scenes of the dreams and how they were different experiences. Other than the number of swords, how do they relate to Saturn in Pisces are sorrow, Jupiter in Pisces are truce, and Mars in Pisces are defeat? One can say that the experience inverted some. Sorrow or addressed some discontent. The contests ended in sort of a truce, and the crushing of the carnations of the Ennead can be said to show that there will be a defeat of the nine silent ones. On August 7th, 1983, it was 9 at the Eckankar Corporate Board of Directors, headed by two alleged Eckmasters, as Eck might stand for Ennead Corporate Kinesis. One can say that the 9 silent ones could be said to be replaced with a true Boer Chakkaum, or eagle-eyed adept. I presume the B stands for the name I already received. XYB can be regarded as how something that almost seems at an end might almost be at its beginning instead. The white path is that of the external, and the yellow is that of the internal existence. The spiritual life requires both. The rainbowy blob can represent how that as a Muslim, I accept the full spectrum of prophets and messengers of God. The lack of a feeling of presence to that being shows that it wasn't a Mahanta or any other spiritual specter that was there. It was representation of how the outer guidance was forming an inner guidance. The tree of silence represents how my spiritual existence goes far beyond this earthly form and existence. The ascent above the tree can be said to be how I am to identify with more than just symbolic actions, but those do get me somewhere. The dominating theme of the experience can be seen as representing my inner and outer development within a dogma that is physically and spiritually pure. It also shows how I'm finding greater acceptance by those who are of a different path, but believing Eckists.